Famous win yesterday, so big show.
Well, it's a big show. You wrestling fit?
Kind of drift in and out of it.
I'm going to start with a song today. You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Talk a lot.
Close. We are so back.
Yep.
We are back in the winning circle. Welcome to Win, Learn or Draw, a West Tigers podcast. The Tigers never lose. In fact, I don't remember the last time they lost. But even when they do, it's not a loss, it's a lesson.
Yep.
That's the name of the podcast, Win, Learn or Draw. I'm Mort, that's Hammy over there. Look, we're absolutely thriving at the moment and trying as close. Throbbing.
Yep.
A couple of throbbers, aren't we?
Selwyn Throbbo over here.
We're racing our way towards 2,005 subscribers on YouTube. We're just a tick over 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Mate.
Bon Jovi sort of stuff.
TikToks, yep.
Halfway there.
Nice one. I was trying to figure out where you're going with that.
Yep.
1,100 on TikTok. But mate, we are at over 1950 on Instagram. We are so close.
A big bump yesterday after that little win post. I think I might have worked something out about social media in the last few weeks, inspired by Ella Casma. We were part of the Manly. When the Tigers learned against Manly, we were part of her kind of seller. If you just do a bit of a dance and put the score on the screen, that's all you got to do. You don't need to sit there and be too clever scripting stuff and going crazy. And, you made sure we got it in the can yesterday and it's going very well. So
it is.
Just got to remember to post it on TikTok next time.
I know. Yeah, that was a good point. Well, funnily enough, I actually posted it on my personal page for about 10 minutes and looked, I was like, it's only got 9 likes. And I was like, it's on my, I'd had a few West Tigers bidders in the member section of the Roosters game, to be fair, but
that's okay. Got to stay hydrated.
We are very close to 2005. We have mocked up a design for a hat that we're going to release once we get to that number. So they will be very exclusive and a limited number. If you're keen.
2005 of them? Probably too many.
Not quite.
That'd mean every single one of our followers need to buy at least one for us to
that's right.
cover the costs.
Yes, that's true. Oh, sorry. Can I play you a clip from last week? Just before you go into your
I'd love you to.
Yeah, okay, cool. Have a listen to this.
So let's just combine one here and go with the win, learn or draw crystal ball.
Yep.
Win. We're going to win.
The boys win.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay. Heard it here first.
Yeah, you did.
Because I can't imagine any other...
No one else... You heard it here first and last because no one else is going to be saying that the Tigers win this week.
The Tigers will beat the Roosters this weekend.
Yep.
Well, I mean, those two sound like absolute geniuses and they've done a lot of learning.
Yeah.
But we would have been, I would suggest, the only podcast that picked that.
Yes.
I know in my every tipping comp I was in, I did not see one orange, white and black logo.
Neither did I. Yep. Any of the so-called experts, I didn't see any Tigers on any of the social, when Fox League put up the posts and all that sort of stuff.
We saw it coming though, Hammy. We saw it coming.
We did.
There was a George W. ambush coming.
George W. Ambush, big time. Happy birthday to him, 79 years old today as well.
Is he really?
Yeah, he is.
It's like my brother's birthday too, so that's...
Yeah.
I didn't know they shared the same birthday.
Yeah, I think I read I think he's still younger than both the previous president and the current president.
Yeah.
I could be wrong there. Is Trump 79? I feel like
he'd be close.
Yeah.
Maybe not 79, but he'd be close.
Anyway, the point is, happy birthday, George W. Ambush. Yeah.
I think that's what inspired the boys to get a win.
79.
79.
So George Bush is junior, is younger than Trump. There you go.
And Biden, obviously.
And Biden, of course. Hold that thought, though, we're the only podcast to back the Tigers.
Yep.
A bit of hooking and teasing for you here. Raw emotion coming up a little bit later on the show.
Oh. One
of our favourites in that segment via his voice note, which you can submit through Instagram, may have kept a few receipts from some other podcasts and incorporates them as part of his spiel this week.
Wow. So, that's a good hook. Because I'm not across this. You've hooked me.
Hooking and teasing, baby. Don't touch that dial. That's coming up a little bit later in the show.
First, though,
obviously,
there's a big W, win that we need to address, and we're going to try and put it up in a little Hammy sandwich of 30 seconds if possible.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Big W. And we're not talking about, well-priced, furniture and cheap DVDs and books and stuff, folks. We're talking about a big win for the Tigers.
Geez, they'd be stoked. That's the way you marketed them.
Well, if you want to jump on board, please hit up info@winlearnorddraw.com. We'd love to hear from you. We love a sponsor.
Get it packed away in a nice 30-second wrap. Here he goes, Hammy. Start now.
Tigers teach 28:30 at Allianz Academy. A nice, easy watch for all us West Tigers fans. 3 words immediately spring to mind for this one. Never in doubt. All 3 finals scored by the time the clock struck 43 minutes. The 3 brothers of the West became the fathers of Easts. Despite a late rally from the Roosters and a superhuman effort from Mark Nwangani-Tawaze, the Tigers hold on 28 points to 30. Despite the referee encouraging James Tedesco several times to reconsider his position on taking a kick at goal.
Yeah.
There's got to be an investigation, to quote the great Jeff Tooby.
I agree.
We are still a mathematical chance of hosting a final.
Amazing. 37 seconds. So pretty top-notch timing there too. Little stab at Teddy and the ref probably ticked you over, but it had to be said.
No, it's fine. I'm actually glad I paused and incorporated that. So.
Yeah. So we were both there.
We were. Contrary to, again, we hear more about this in raw emotion, but contrary to popular belief, we were at the game.
Yeah, we absolutely were. And it's good to experience the good day hill at Brookvale and be around the biggest ferals in the world, and then sit with the Roosters fans in the members section who were not saying a peep for the entire 80 minutes, basically, because they were pantsed.
Yeah, they were.
They got absolutely bathed by the 3 finals. Startoa, again.
GI.
He had 3 defenders on him, and he just went, outside.
We're quite lucky at the West Tigers to have GI as an assistant coach of the women's team and also playing centre for us right now.
Yeah, I know.
Think of his powers.
Hope he's not getting double the money. Maybe he's just doing, moonlighting.
Yeah, I'm
doing that shift on the side.
I'm happy to pay him twice.
Okay,
Going really well at the moment.
It is GI at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We were both there. We were both in the members section. Thanks to my mate Nobby, helped us out.
Thanks Nobby. Unlucky on the lesson for the Roosters.
I bet you were regretting it.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting next to her. I was jumping up. I was ecstatic.
Yep.
And there are a lot of angry Chooks fans there that weren't too happy with it. But I had an absolute ball. What a great stadium.
So good.
Allianz Academy.
One of our 5 homes this year.
Yes.
We take on Manly there in a couple of weeks. We'll be repaying the favour to the Manly faithful who were giving us plenty of free advice on the Good Day Hill the other week.
That's right.
But looking forward to that one in August. And you know what? Hopefully a sign of things to come. In the next couple of years. Obviously, still haven't heard back from the Campbelltown Council. Or we actually have.
Yeah.
They didn't quite meet Richo's 100 million.
Richo asked for 100 and I think they offered 10.
Yep.
Which, by my maths, is not enough.
No.
Might get a new cubicle out there or something like that.
Yeah.
New Mr. Whippy van. That you'd be happy with that.
Can't improve on perfection. But maybe a third Mr. Whippy van out
there. No, but it was a very amazing game to see.
It was great.
The boys hold on in that respect. We'll touch a little bit on the presser in the set of 6, but they just want to play for Benji, don't they? You can tell.
They do.
I had this beautiful view of the field, right? And I don't know a lot about rugby league, but geez, they looked good. Like the shapes and everyone was timing the ball well.
Yeah.
I've got this as a little point later on, but I feel like if Adam Dewey plays 5'8" or halfback, he controls the pace, the tempo of the game.
Yeah.
And if everyone plays at his level, as his pace, then he's an elite player.
Yeah.
Because he just orchestrates everyone around him. When in centre, he obviously gets found out with his pace a little bit because everyone's playing at their own pace. But geez, mate, he stood out for me massively.
I thought he was fantastic. Really good. I still do think, he's probably going to have to squeeze back out there when, Jerome's back in the side as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I was really impressed with Fainu, of the Latu, all 3 of them, but of the Latu variety. I thought this was his finest game in his Fainu-est game in a Tigers jersey at number 7. I didn't realise how quick he was off the mark. That loose ball that was there, it was almost, I said it on the Bloke Show this morning, it was like he was playing Mario Kart and he hit a star and he just exploded. No one could catch him.
Even at the end there when he got a high shot.
Yep.
And he just exploded through that gap.
Yeah.
And then copped a high one.
Well, there's a few times he got through the line as well. We've spoken about his magnificent childbearing hips, squaring up the line and just being so quick and jinking through a few times. Most of those tries in the first half, he either scored them or had a hand in them, setting him up. I thought he was excellent yesterday.
He was. That's only his second game, full 80 minutes.
Yep.
Ever. So Manly last week, and then obviously
and he was on a hiding to nothing last week with a Susan to Romy on the day of the game. Happy obviously playing out of position. So, if that's how he's going now, and still we haven't got all those guys back, He's only going to get better and better.
Yeah, I agree. And I just can't wait to see him with Luai in that halves pairing. I'm just really excited for what's ahead. It just had, I put up a video as I was walking to the game, but I had a good feeling about yesterday. I don't know what it was. I feel like the boys are fired up, and we have
That's
one of
our
those
slot, 2 p.m. Sunday.
2 p.m. Sunday.
We like to ping it around a bit. So when it's dry and it's sunny, that's good areas. And we've got like 3 more of those slots coming up. We've got the Titans at Leichhardt. We've got the Dogs at, I think that's at Combank.
Combank, yeah.
Geez, there'll be a bit of spice in that one.
We've even got 5:30 Saturday against Penrith at Combank. They're all like, they're not nighttime dewy.
Yeah, not
dewy.
Adam.
Not Adam, not an Adam
not
feel.
Sort of an Adam sort of, but an Adam feel at the same time,
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
But it was really impressive. Obviously, they came back pretty strong. Like, we were up 28-10.
Yeah.
Probably should have put it to bed. There's a few opportunities as well where I thought we probably should have taken the point, like a field goal.
I thought that too. They thought they'd get up that end and just get the little buffer, but they didn't.
I mean, the 7 tackle set's scary.
That was the concern for me.
Yeah.
Because they had their tails up the Roosters. I did say they did let that bad try in like with a minute to go in the first half. They gave away a stupid penalty, and I turned to Mon and I said, if they score off this, I'll be really annoyed.
Yeah.
And straight away they did, and then it was early mark to the toilet for me.
It was funny because I had my English mate Jack there.
Yep.
He's seen 4 West Tigers games since he arrived here in March, and we won all 4. And he was saying,
he is required to attend all games.
He's like, I don't know what
book
the
your
fuss
flight,
is.
get over to Auckland this weekend.
Yeah.
We need you there.
Seriously, Jack, if you could. He said he's going to see his nephew back in the UK, but I think he's going to cancel that trip to
go to
get
Auckland instead.
Keep winning.
Yep.
And he was saying, 28-10, surely this is a done deal. I was like, please stop.
Yeah.
Like, he's got his Tiger scarf on, like, bless him. He's all in, but he doesn't know the torture of being a Tigers fan.
Yeah.
And then to my right was Nobby, the Roosters fan. At 28-10, he was more confident than I was.
Yeah.
Genuinely. And I was shitting bricks.
Yep.
Like, I can't. I'd rather be down by 18 at this point. I'm just too nervous. But
We're not good front runners, are we?
We're not. But we held on. There were
did.
some moments. I mean, do you want to dive into the Nongshim Shin Ramen Noodle Spicy Play of the Week?
Why not?
Why
not?
Changed the sponsor.
Australia's what, number 3 wet noodle brand? Are these guys? Or
well,
on the podium?
They are the Guzman and Gomez of wet noodles, because they might not be, at the Macca's or KFC level of a wokka, but they are storming up my list of favourite wet noodles.
Guzman Gomez recently went publicly listed. You can actually invest in them. And a friend of the show, the local cricket skipper, Wally, that I work with in Melbourne, invested quite substantially in them. I'm talking on the stock market here, but he's always been a keen investor of their actual product, and he still is. But the shares have just gone like this. So what he's quite cleverly done is turned himself almost into some sort of financial photosynthesis sort of thing where he's essentially paying himself by,
out of the right pocket
by
and the
eating
left.
there. That's correct.
He's a clever man.
He's done it well. He's done it really well.
So
where were we?
Nongshim Shin Ramen noodles. Yeah, they're the red packets. I don't know if you've ever had them. I had one on Saturday night. I was at home.
Nice.
Just with my girl when my wife was out, and I was in love. Might have got it over the line actually.
Yep.
For the next day. I think that was a good luck charm. I have any of the tries. All 4 of our tries. By the way, how good's winning scoring less tries than the opposition?
It's nice when we're on the right side of it. I feel like we've been on the wrong side of that quite a few times.
Know.
But,
Dewey 7 from 7.
Yeah.
Like off the tee. What a legend.
Yep.
I thought the team's try saver on Rodwell down that right wing, which was primarily Latu Fainu.
Yep.
But his tackle, they spread it wide. So I have here the Tom Jenkins Award for the player who, for some reason, plays like Clive Churchill when they play the Tigers, to Mark Nwanga Nitawase.
Yep.
I mean, he's pretty good. He's a wallaby.
Yeah.
So he probably not Tom Jenkins level, but he had a blinder. But late on in the game, they shifted it right. I think there was 3 minutes to go off the kickoff. It might have even been 30 to 28 at that point. And they went right, and he kind of flicked it out to Rodwell, and Fainu came across again and just cleaned him up and took him out.
Yep.
Like, the bloke was everywhere.
He, not only is he like quick, very skillful, he's a big unit too. Like there's a fair bit of meat on the bones of Latu Fainu. So, he was elite yesterday, ball in hand, and also, there was numerous times where he had big defensive plays, but that one obviously counted the most right at the point.
Defense is massively an attitude thing, as a lot of people say. And
I've always said that.
Well, I was quoting you.
Yeah.
His attitude getting across and making those covering tackles as a halfback. I know you're not a huge super coach guy, but he is a base stat fiend as well. So he's tackling and running a lot which you don't get from a halfback normally.
Yep.
So like a Cooper Cronk or something like that. Like he was kind of a general in the middle, but he can do it all, honestly. And like I said, it's second crack at 80 minutes of footy.
Yeah.
And the
certainly not
looks,
something many teenage halves can do.
No, I know another teenage half that probably isn't winning as much as our teenage half.
Learning a lot at the moment.
Yeah, learning a lot at Hogwarts, Voldemort. Let's get stuck into the set of 6.
I'd love that.
Would you?
Yep.
All right, let's do it then. Tackle 1. I want to talk about the Twal and Benji presser. Now, I'm going to kind of break down each and every moment of the presser, but they pointed
Freeze
out...
it there.
Yeah, exactly.
Sterlo style.
Sterlo. It's the Zeus of circles, draw some arrows. Twal is 1 from 1 as skipper.
Yeah.
Twal apparently said to Benji, can you just point that out in the presser, please? I have jotted down here, he's unlikely to have a career in public speaking. A lot of you-knows, like during his press conference.
More of a lead with the actions and lead with the words kind of operator.
Well, Benji did say when he talks, people listen.
Yeah.
So he must have a bit of gravitas around the club in that respect. I mean, he's a veteran, right? He's one of the most capped West Tigers players of all time now, 150 plus. He was obviously a leader in the way that Twali would lead, but he had I called it a valedictorian speech afterwards as well, after we passed on our learnings to the Roosters. But yeah, Twali was up there and as proud a skipper could be next to Benji.
Yep.
Benji did say, they said, did you see that coming? He said, I reckon there was something brewing in the warm-up. He said, I could feel the boys were on.
I did hear that.
They were ready to go.
Yeah.
And you could tell from kickoff straight away, we were like hammer, like going at it as soon as we were on 100%. Benji called it.
Yeah.
The Twali kind of said as well, the boys played for Benji. Like we did that for him because we just had another West Tigers week, right? Rumours circulating that Dewey had a hissy fit because Benji dropped him.
Yeah.
Which they were like, that is totally untrue.
Yeah.
And the media picked it up. And
every time I got asked about it, he goes, well, it's just not, what do you want me to say? It's not true. Like, it didn't happen.
So weird, man.
Yeah.
But typical Tigers.
And he also said, I've been doing that since I've been back at the club. I get out there and run with the boys and stuff, and it's only an issue this week for some reason. So, yeah, it felt like a bit lazy journalism, that one, to me.
Yeah, well,
it
that
just
was
felt like easy clicks. I don't know if Clicks was involved in this one, but in fact, I saw him on a podcast talking about it, that there had been a bit of a Barney at training.
I think it was him.
Yeah.
I almost think it was
Clicks.
him. Yeah, Clicks, come on, mate. Lift your game.
Yeah.
We also need 100 million for Campbelltown Stadium, so if you could help with that
Sort
one.
that out, please.
But he said Benji said he loves coaching them as well. He said, I love coaching these guys.
Yep.
Like you could feel the love in the air between the two.
You could. Latu finally also said on the field post-game, interviewed as well, said we kind of actually rallied around for the coach this week because, which is great, respect that.
It was good stuff. And we were talking about Clicks obviously making up stories during the week. As soon as we win, I went on Fox Sports today and there's like no articles on the Tigers.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Kick them.
Yeah.
Kick them when they're down.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Interesting one. The big call out though is we haven't let any juniors go. So the journo was like, why'd you how are you coping with letting those juniors go? And he's like, we haven't let any juniors go. They didn't want to be here. We only want blokes that want to be here. And he called out the Finu boys and a few other players and said, these guys want to play for the West Tigers.
Yeah.
Like, we're a proud club and we should be. And if people don't want to be here, buzz off.
Yeah.
Phil Rothfield.
Buzz Rothfield, yeah. Shout out to him.
He said, good juniors. Like, we've got these good juniors, a couple of young guys in their teenage years still. But he said it's the leaders that drive the ship, and he was really, really honing in on how good our leadership was.
And they were.
So Twal, Dewey, some of the older heads. I think he called out Terrell May as well, just being like...
He did. I like that one.
Ship. Yeah.
I like that one because a lot of... Well, look, the club that showed him the door, the Roosters that we played against on the weekend, their reasoning is basically not a great cultural fit, rightly or wrongly. But we're leaning into him at the Tigers. Benji's going... You're one of the leaders.
Yep.
I want you to, the boys respect you. And he's kind of putting him in front and centre there. So and it's good to see the boys getting around him, following him in.
Also, I hope we don't lose any listeners to the May Day podcast. I don't know if you saw.
No, looking forward to that. We should get them on.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Collab. That'd be nice. If you're listening, Terrell, Taylor, let us know. And then finally, I think he put it quite eloquently, but he said we had to pick ourselves up off the canvas after that Manly game. They came from a low base. That was a horrible 80 minutes up there
it wasn't good.
on the Northern Beaches.
No.
And to come back, bounce back within a week, beat the Roosters at their home ground, which we haven't done since 2016, I think, or 2009 away. 2018 was the last time we beat them.
Yep.
Which was at ANZ or Accor. But yeah, we haven't won at Allianz for a long, long time.
Well, if it's going to be one of our 5 home grounds going forward, good to kind of put
12? Is it 12? I was trying to figure it out
the
yesterday.
12th wonder.
12th wonder.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, because we already played at Suncorp, so it'd be the 12th wonder.
Jeez, it was nice to walk over there, wasn't it?
Fantastic.
Walk to a footy game.
To and from. Yeah, good.
But anyway, that was my takeaway from the presser.
Yeah, good presser.
It was a really good positive one, actually. And yeah, I feel like Twal played support there nicely.
He did a beautiful job. He's sort of been plunged into the media spotlight a bit more this year through the Fletch and Heine segments.
Yeah.
And I think they've shot some stuff with him again recently, so I watched this space. But it was great having him as the skipper of the club, and 1 from 1. So
1 from 1.
Can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
That's 100%. Wanted to talk about, for tackle 2, some improvements that we had from last Friday to this Sunday. Do we play in halves? I just said this before, plays the game at his pace. He was a massive improver.
Yep.
Latu looking so much more comfortable out there, wasn't he?
100%.
Felt like he grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. And I think to your point, after the game, he was interviewed and he said, I don't mind what position I play. I just love playing for this jersey and I love playing in this team and I love playing for the fans.
How was that?
That's the type of guy you want at your club, mate.
It is.
Not a snotty-nosed little greedy pumpkin pie haircutted freak.
I wonder who you could be talking about.
Gets me fired up.
No, that's good. He looked great. Good
did.
attitude. Get around him. I'm looking forward to seeing more and more of him. Playing more, 80 minutes, getting him out there. Just hope the boys kind of spoke about it this morning. He is very explosive, very fast, all that sort of stuff. And as we mentioned before, quite a big unit. Just got to be careful, hopefully, that those, the fact that he's a big dog and likes to kind of, he's a quick kind of fast twitch, a lot of those sort of movements. Just got to be careful. He's already had a couple of soft tissue injuries and stuff like that. So going to be interesting to see how he kind of manages that and how they kind of use him for the rest of the year. Like, will he play every game 80 minutes? Will they kind of taper him off at times? Or, will he maybe try to, in the preseason for next year, try to strip back a little bit of the weight maybe?
Yeah, it's a good point. He plays the game at 110%, doesn't he?
He does.
So he's always going to put his body on the line and run the risk of injury. But I prefer him to play like that than like a passenger.
Absolutely.
And lastly, Taruva. He was phenomenal up the middle. Obviously, had a little lapse of concentration in the afternoon sun there. Got his eyes.
Don't worry. That was clever kicking though into that corner there. That's always a problem where the kind of sun sets over the top of the roof and you see the shadows on the ground.
Yeah,
smart play.
Smart play from the Chookies. But he some of the runs he was making towards the back end of the game, up the middle through the forwards.
Yep.
Was sensate. Kind of like we were discussing it at the game. Kind of like a Dylan Edwards kind of Tracy-like fullback, like not flashy, but just works his absolute bumhole
ring off.
So, it's great to see him. Obviously, Buller will slot straight back in there, but so good to see that we have a really solid one as a replacement. Into
Absolutely.
River. And then, in fact, the back three were all good, Skelton and Staines.
Bomb disposal squad in great form.
Definitely. These are some of the stats from a meterage perspective from last week to this week. Ran 1,700 metres on Sunday compared to 1,350 against Manly.
Yep.
Big difference. Average set distance. I don't know if you noticed, but I feel like we were making pretty easy metres yesterday.
We're going forward a lot.
Going massively forward. 47.4 metres this week compared to 31 the week before against Manly. And then kick return metres, 208 metres this week, 88 against Manly. So
chalk and cheese.
Just chalk and cheese. Like
Marshall Chalk and Brandon Smith.
Marshall Chalk, great reference.
Yep.
Raiders legend.
There you go.
Marshall Chalk and Brandon Smith. Wow.
Get well soon, Brandon.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, wasn't it? Yeah. Just heard Matty let out a sob over there.
Yeah.
Tackle 3.
Oh, just before we go to tackle 3.
Oh, yes.
One shout out. We haven't covered him off yet. Tristan Hope.
Nice one.
Outstanding. After, Appy went down, everyone's going, who are you going to get to play 9? Oh, you got no depth. Well, we pull out Tristan Hope, who has played, might be his 3rd game for the season. He obviously played in round 1. If you're not across the story of him, obviously a little bit older, kind of 27, 28 in that kind of ballpark. Went the long way, played a lot of Queensland Cup. And I said it on Bloke today. I had a lot of blank faces looking at me on Bloke. Hopefully you'll be a bit more on board with this comparison. Bo Webster in the Australian Test team.
Yep.
10 years of Sheffield Shield behind him before he comes in.
Yep.
On top of his game. Comes in, knows what he's doing, consistent, good technique, safety.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tristan Hope.
I like it.
You know,
Bo
40
Webster of the West Tigers.
Correct. The slug.
All-rounder.
Slug Hope. 41 tackles, none missed. Great service.
I was going to say, I haven't seen service like that from a hooker since I was in Amsterdam a couple of years ago.
I was going to say, we're going to go back to Fishwick in your Canberra days. But real theatre of the mind stuff there. But I thought he was excellent. I just want to give him his flowers while we had a moment to do that as well.
Yeah, no, you're right. He was outstanding. He was so solid. Saw Charlie Murray came on at the end there and played a bit of hooker as well.
Chuck Murray.
Yeah, Charlie Murray.
The bus.
Really good stuff. Pretty much everyone in the 17 just had a really good crack. Saybarge came on. I'm loving that middle roll of the Saybarge. Don't know if you saw that.
You're not the only one.
I don't know if you saw that run he did to set up Sione Finer's try.
Yeah.
So he got the ball flat-footed 10 metres out and carried 3 blokes all the way up to 2 metres out. And then they were in shambles, their defensive line.
It's like some sort of barge.
Some sort of what kind of vessel carries other things?
Yeah, from a slow start, from essentially a standing start. If you know, let us know in the comments what sort of vessel.
I think I heard him saying chugga, chugga, chugga while he was running it up.
That wasn't you. That wasn't him. That could have been several, or a group, a family of people.
A family?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to hear more about that later.
More from them in Raw Emotion. Don't touch that dial.
Don't touch the dial. Tackle 3, Reggie and NRLW Wrap.
Oh, yes, good.
Well, you'll be happy to know. Well, you won't be happy to know this, but we were down 18-10 with 8 minutes to go. 72 minute, Kurt Falls put one up. Alex Lobb catches it, passes on the inside to El Zakim, who's our back rower. 18-16. 2 minutes later, get the ball back, go up. Kurt Falls puts it up again, same wing. Alex Lobb goes up again, scores his own try. Magpies win 22-18.
Go Pies.
That is 7 out of their last 8 games, I think. They've won something of the sort. So they're sitting in 8th at the moment. The big call out, though, at left centre, Taylor May made
I saw this clip. Yeah.
pushing him back in the end goals.
Yeah. Carried him back, got him about 15 metres out and just picked this bloke up and just took him back in the end goal.
Here to play, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
And then he went off at half time and Makassini came on.
Makassini.
Hey, Makadua, Makahia, Makassini. He looked outstanding.
Yeah.
18 years old.
Sure.
Playing left centre.
Give him a game in first grade during the month of July so he can do the Macarena, the Makassini for Try July.
Makassini. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We could
Talk to Langy, get him to play that over the
Langy,
speaker.
could you get Makassini, a remix of Macarena with
Yep.
Makassini?
And also, while we got you, Langy, need some tickets to the Panthers game, but we'll contact you directly about that one.
Also, Benji's number, if you could pass that on.
That'd be great.
Fantastic.
It's those three.
Makassini set up a try for Tui Tupo in the second half as well. So, honestly, all things like that depth, we keep talking about that depth. We got it. We got it, brother. Honestly, the Maggies, that's why I'm wearing my
Never
Maggies
been an
jersey.
issue. I was wondering why you had it on today, but it all makes sense now.
Yep. I love the Maggies. Yep. From Campbelltown, as you may know.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So, in my blood. NRLW.
Upgrade that stadium, for God's sake.
Yeah. I'll chuck in, I don't know, whatever ad revenue we get, my half,
Yeah.
I'll chuck in.
I'm glad you added that caveat because I'm prepared to part with my whole half.
Well, I don't know what the raw emotion's going to go later on, but I did run into a certain someone that's going to get a certain tattoo and
Wow.
could be a bit costly. The NRLW team, Tigers, they learned pretty hardcore 28. They were hanging in there until half time, and then the Broncos, who were pretty much premiership favourites.
Competition favourites, they are.
Ran away with it in the second half. But the good story is Caitlin Turnbull, the winger, scored on debut.
Love that.
So
congrats.
Well,
a lot of debutants. So this will be a bit of a learning year for the girls. They have had a bit of churn in the roster.
Yep.
A lot of new faces. So you've got to be patient. But we'll take the little lessons where we can get them in there.
Queen Kessie there, though, I feel like she'll provide that leadership.
Drag them.
Yeah.
Drag them up a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, well done, Caitlin. Any relation to Big Mal? I'm not sure.
Yep. Let us know in the comments.
Great to see you score on debut.
Yep, got my vote. Anyway. All right, tackle 4. Jareen Buller is my headline here. Now, David Riccio.
Hope this is good.
Don't know if you've seen this reporting this afternoon. Outstanding. It's not too dire, otherwise it would have been higher up the show. So don't panic, but it's a little bit concerning.
That's a good point.
Outstanding talent. Jareen Buller's contract move will give fans a real insight into where West Tigers are as a club. CEO Shane Richardson has to find a way to make sure this is a win. before we're all talking about another Tigers lesson. By that, Richardson must activate a clause in Buller's contract today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. The clause will determine if Buller is at the club in 2026. Full column coming up in the next couple of days on Code Sports, column AU. What are your thoughts on that? I'm a little bit...
That's terrifying,
I'm not
mate.
going to say terrifying. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned, though, that he's got a certain player manager who doesn't, you know...
What did you see? Who
hasn't got
else
a
he
great
signed
track
this week?
record of treating the club that well. I did see that. See that.
Adam Dewey's
Why
on
do
his
they
books.
sign with this guy if he doesn't like the
I mean, he gets good deals, right?
Yeah.
Look, this is the line in the sand moment, I think, for our relationship with this certain player manager.
He was already giving us a 2-star review on Apple Podcasts. So we're off to a shaky start. Well, you can only assume it was him.
So good that he was too cowardly to give it 1 star. He's like, it's pretty good.
Well, he's only human. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's true. Look, I think it's a line in the sand moment, and I think we can wrestle back this narrative that Moses wants to destroy our club by signing Dewey and Buller. Buller has outwardly said he loves the club and wants to stay.
Yep. His wife is also playing in the NRLW team as well.
So I think this was a ploy by Richo. Like, she's obviously a good player, Solomon Hamoto's daughter as well. But I think the way that the Tigers have built around kind of family first ethos in the club is like, right, if we can get Buller's wife in the club as well, that will convince him much more to stay. So I think that was a play by Richo. Yeah.
Hope so.
I would be probably more hurt than any other junior we've ever lost if Buller left.
Yeah.
But I don't see it coming.
No,
I reckon we'll hold on.
Yeah, he's made the right stuff during Buller. Is my take. Hopefully he stays. But I do not like reading articles like this.
Yeah,
Too
but
many
this
of
is what
them
they
lately.
do, Hammy. They try and unsettle the ship.
Get a bit of burley in the water, and we just had a win yesterday, a famous win, and this is in the paper the next day.
Well, you can imagine the Monday morning meeting at News Corp. Everyone sits down. They go, right, Tigers had a win. What can we write about today to derail them a little bit? Like, well, Buller's off contract. Yep, perfect, done. Riccio, go publish that.
Yeah,
it's essentially how it pans out.
Yes. I imagine it would have almost gone verbatim like that this morning, based on what we've seen. But anyway, fingers crossed it's not the case. Not looking forward to, but keen to see some more detail on that through the week. And hopefully, as Dave Riccio suggests, Richo acts swiftly and activates that clause.
Yeah, please, Richo. If you are watching or listening, I don't know how you consume the podcast, but it'd be one way or the other.
He'd be YouTube man now, I reckon. He's done a couple recently where he's been, he did Behind the Raw, he did
That's right.
Buy Round.
He's tech savvy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's up with it.
And you've got the beard for Buller as well. So just remember,
the beard for Buller.
You've had it for, 10 years?
Yeah,
10 years?
2013, I reckon. 12 years.
12 years
A decade.
you've had the beard for Buller.
12, a dozen.
So I'm feeling good about that one, mate.
Yep. Me too. Tackle 5. Now, obviously a lot of people say this is the most important tackle in the set.
I certainly do.
I'm going to trial a new segment here. It's called the Breath of Fresh Air. Open to a mouthwash sponsor, maybe Listerine. But obviously,
Who else?
Quite often there's a little bit of bad news or concerning news around the Tigers. So I've tried to just find some little green shoots around the traps.
Amazing.
That might hopefully put things in perspective. So Luella Clark hit us up in the DMs on Instagram.
Yep.
And we reposted the Finu brothers hang it in the Louvre post that the Tigers team.
Yep.
Great content. Put it up yesterday after
Very
all
nice.
three brothers scored.
Yep.
And Luella informs us that the curse of the calendar is over. Turn the official Tigers calendar to July. Mm-hmm. I think, was it He Who Must Not Be Named was in June?
I think so, yeah.
That's behind us. We're in July. Fanua Pole is now on display. And surprise, surprise, we get a win. So there's something for you to look forward to. Obviously, last month was tough. A lot of things went wrong.
Yep.
A lot of lessons were learned. Turn it over to a new month. Fanua Pole is one of our best this season, and we have a win.
Oh, mate. And do you know what? I was loving seeing him playing yesterday.
good.
He plays with so much gusto.
Yep.
I just love watching him. And he's so fleet-footed. Like, him and May just complement each other so
do.
well. May's just like, I'm just going to bash everyone, and then he'll just go zip through the
Great
middle.
footwork for a big guy as well.
Great to hear the calendar. Like, hopefully he isn't cursed by being in the calendar in July, but I don't think so. Mr. July is a good indication of the club moving forward too.
Yeah.
July is like, right, now's the time.
Yeah.
And we can still host
new
the final.
financial year, set some new
financial
financial goals, get some wins on the board,
That's right.
which is great. And it's also start of the school holidays, which Rosie pointed out to me.
Yeah.
And then I did steal his joke and ran with it on Matty Johns last night. But he said it first. School holidays, which is great news for us because it means no learning for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Great time to be a Tigers fan.
Amazing.
So there's another little green shoot for you. Another little breath of fresh air.
Now it's time to get your membership.
It is.
It is. It's, I mean, like, no learning in the next 3 weeks, guaranteed.
Yep.
Almost getting to 11,000 members.
That's right.
We told you last week, jump on.
Yep.
Right when we were at our lowest.
Yep.
6 lessons.
So you have missed the jump there, but still a good time to get it.
Still a good time.
Because there's a couple of games at Leichhardt coming up. They're on Sunday, Arvo. Highly likely to be sold out. If you've got a membership, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure you can still scan in anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened last time. Sold out, but I could still get in with it.
Yeah.
You got a better chance of getting in if you remember.
You do definitely have a better chance.
So go get it.
And you got to get the merch pack as well. Like, it's all good stuff.
Get in there.
And we might, like, who knows? Pole is the July guy. Maybe the Pole and May chant gets a run at Leichhardt.
Yep.
I'll certainly be trying my hardest. If anyone can join in. If you want to know the words, let me know.
Yep. No, unfortunately, no more 20% off Hames Paints, but don't let that stop you.
Yeah, but Hames Paint's already reasonably priced. Anyway.
Already really reasonably priced.
20% off was almost like a joke.
I felt bad.
Yeah, I know. Hames must have been like, I mean, he's a really nice guy.
I was making profit off it, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
because now if you resell it at recommended retail price, you're making 20%.
Laughing.
Yeah. So that's a benefit of being a member.
Yep. Might be a way to fund the upgrade out at Campbelltown, maybe. Anyway,
that's a good point.
Something to think about.
All
right, one more green shoot that I've got here from NRL Odd Stats.
Yes.
And this is fantastic. So if you actually mentioned it to me at the game yesterday, but I thought it'd be worth sharing here again. It is and this was before the game had even started.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
We're in a good spot here. It is still a statistical possibility that West Tigers host a semi-final.
Whoa.
One possibility is to go undefeated, have each favourite win, and have Souths beat the Roosters in round 27. If this happens, the Tigers would finish 6th. So
over to you, Souths.
Over to you, Rabbitohs. We've done our part. Basically, put the feet up from here.
Undefeated, tick. Each favourite win, tick.
Yep.
Souths beat Roosters. That's the only question mark.
That's the only question mark from here. But, looking forward to a home final.
We could finish 6th. Where would we play it, Hammy?
Probably, that's a great question.
Combank, I'd say.
You reckon they'd make us play it there?
I do.
You reckon they'd let us play it at Leichhardt?
I don't.
You don't?
Oh, geez. That would be a story for the ages.
That'd be like real home ground advantage sort of stuff.
Yeah. Imagine the sea of orange, white and black.
Yeah.
At that footy ground.
If it was an interstate team, I reckon they'd probably consider it. Anyway. Otherwise, we ride if they don't. Anyway, the point is, we're on track for a home final.
I love the image that he's used here, NRL Odd Stats as well. It's a picture of the Proven Summons trophy and Alex Twal next to it.
Essentially the same thing. Essentially the same thing.
If we win the comp this year, do you reckon they'll put Twal on they'll replace Proven and Summons and put Twal on the trophy?
I think that'd be appropriate. Anyway, so that's it. That's a breath of fresh air. Any mouthwash sponsors, let us know. We'd love to get you on for that one. What do you reckon?
Fence, if you could hit them up.
That's right.
Listerine. Hopefully they got a local representative because that'd be nice. Hey, Hammy, we do have to pay for a tattoo.
Oh, I've got a tackle 6 though.
Oh, I thought that was tackle 6.
No, that was tackle 5. Tackle 6, really quick one here. So we had a challenge with a listener a couple of weeks ago. Go back and listen to it. Wham 5007 basically said if we didn't mention a certain someone's name who's left the club for 2 weeks, he would go and get that person's haircut.
Yep.
Last week at 6:20 p.m. he messaged us on Tuesday and said, "You fuckers, you just heard me getting called out. Looks like it's that person's haircut for me." And I said, "Send pics." And he goes, "I'll send a before and after booked in at the barber this Sunday." So that was the Sunday yesterday, just gone.
Right.
I hit him up today. Said, "How'd you go?" Hasn't opened it. Was active 21 minutes ago. I sent the message 2 hours ago, so shirking us now. But Wham 5007, what do you got? Put your cards on the table because deal's a deal, mate.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
We held up our end of the bargain.
Yep.
Wham 5007, and if you've got 007 in your name, you need to kind of be a man of honour. So
exactly, I've always said that.
Yeah, you have always said that.
Yep.
Looking forward to seeing the end result, mate. If you get it up and get it in the inbox, there's a high chance that it'll be on their win, learn or draw story. So
extremely high.
Very, very much looking forward to that. As I was just touching on before, I rudely interrupted your tackle 6 update.
Good,
yeah, let's get some revenue in the door. All right, that was good. All of your YouTube Premium Suckers. No,
Yep.
you guys aren't suckers, actually. You guys are the ones that...
Yep.
Hey, I just noticed you changed the top 05. It was like a light grey.
Your work is done.
I
for
couldn't
now?
see.
Close that.
Now I kind of can. So
Yep.
take it away. Please.
All right. This is the top 05 West Tigers captains who captained a maximum of 10 games for the club.
Nice.
You happy with that?
Maximum of 10 games. A maximum of 10 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
You happy with that?
Inspired by the great man on Sunday.
Twally. Yeah. He didn't make the cut. Couldn't fit them all in.
Yeah.
But it's sort of, I was inspired by.
A maximum of 10 games.
Maximum
I'm
of
really
10
looking
games.
forward to this. Now, maybe I can wait and see, but co-captains count?
Stop jumping ahead. We'll cover all that off in the top 05.
That's a really good point.
We'll get into it with a person who was captain in his own right. This is coming in at number 1 because remember it's a top 05 count up.
The count up.
Because we say the best 05, best year for the Tigers. That's our last one.
Yep.
So coming in at number 1, Scott Sattler.
Oh.
Who captained the boys for 8 games in 2004. He came to the club fresh off winning a comp for the Panthers and completing the tackle of the century.
That's unbelievable that he left Penrith after that game.
I know.
Like a genuine hero of the club.
Correct. Probably one of the greatest moments.
Yeah.
Certainly until the 4-peat and all that sort of stuff. This was one of the moments that stood out and still does, last the test of time.
Yeah.
He was named captain immediately upon arrival and led the boys well, most notably to a World Sevens Championship victory.
Correct.
Where he was named player of the tournament.
What?
Yeah. There you go.
Wow.
At the end of the season, he required a significant knee operation and retired from footy after 203 games across 5 different clubs. You can catch him now on SEN Sports Day with Matt Rogers and on Saturday morning with friend of the show, Andrew Webster as well. So doing a bit of work in the media these days.
Good on him.
Sats. And he actually pinch hits as a resident Queenslander on Matty Johns as well. Lovely fella.
He's he's actually good talent as well. I remember.
Yes.
Do you remember the footy show segment where they like cracking bats over his head and stuff like that? Because he's like as tough as nails.
Yeah.
Obviously, his old man was even tougher.
Yes.
Arguably,
Played with the busted jaw.
Johnny Sattler. So yeah, he's from good pedigree, Scotty Sattler. Great. I remember the signing being like, this is solid stuff. 2004 was a relatively successful year for the Tigers as well. It was when we were on the up. Big herbal world guy, me.
Yep.
Got all my herbs from there.
Yes.
One of the great sponsors.
Yeah.
One of
Rugby
the-
League 1 jersey sponsor for the West Tigers, Herbal World.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
One of the worst integrated logos I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, it was just slapped on there, wasn't it? There's no sort of... Cody Totes would have had an absolute fit.
I think he's even spoken about it before.
Yeah, I think he did when he was on here on episode 2 this season.
Yeah, that's
counting
right.
down the best integrated logos.
Lovely start, mate.
Yeah.
I'm a big... I love Scott Sattler even when he wasn't at West. Like
Yeah.
when he was at Penrith. He was just
100%.
all grit.
Great guy and a good Queenslander as well, which we love.
Did he play for Queensland when he was at West?
No,
Oh, okay, thought he might have. Because he wasn't in your top 05.
exactly.
Yeah, good point.
Would have been in it if
That's
he
a
was.
good point.
So,
That's
anyway.
a good point.
Number 2, Todd Payton. Captained the boys for 9 games between 2007 and 2009. Obviously played in a premiership in 05 against the side that he now coaches, the Cowboys.
True.
Halfback in a front rower's body, which I always liked about him.
Beautiful eyes too.
Beautiful eyes. Should have played Origin.
Didn't?
No, didn't play Origin. I don't think he played Origin.
No, I don't think so.
He didn't
That's
play
unlucky.
Origin. Ryan O'Hara did though, didn't he? He played 1 game. Sort of similar style player in a similar era. Anyway, he made a Kangaroos train-on squad in 2010, which I had forgotten about this. He stepped on a tennis ball, Glenn McGrath style, in a session and cooked his ankle.
Oh, no.
Which I kind of forgot as well. He missed games at the start of the 2011 season, and he attempted stem cell treatment to recover from his injury. And he said, unless this works dramatically, I'm retiring. It didn't work that well. Ended up retiring.
Is that how he retired?
Of 2011. And he went on to coach our under-20s team in 2012. They finished 4th.
Yep.
A good crop of players coming through at that point. Then he went on to coach the Cowboys under-20 side. Then he went and did I think he did a caretaker role at the Cowboys. Then, of course, the Wars during COVID.
Yep.
Back at the Cowboys, 1 coach of the year. Still doing the damn thing. But a great player at the club and scrapes in. Captain 9 games, so just qualified under my 10-game threshold.
Didn't hit the maximum of 10. Yeah, I loved Toddy Payton as well. He was one of those big bodies that could really pass a good footy.
Yeah.
Kind of almost invented that back in that 05 era
Yep.
when we had those big guys.
Suited our style of...
Fleet-footed. Yeah.
pinging
Came
it
off the
around.
bench in the
He did.
GF as well. Scored a try.
He did the last one.
Yeah, the one where they all dived on it.
Yeah,
and
they all wanted
hugging
a
each
piece of
other.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Take me back.
Good times.
Take me back. Great inclusion, mate.
Happy with that?
Very happy with the first two.
Number 3, Elijah Taylor.
Yeah, ET.
Skippered the boys in one game in 2017.
One game. I would have thought he had more than that.
Yeah, an absolute super coach banker back in the day. Made a million tackles, scored the odd try. Kelly Barnes medalist in the same year.
Yeah.
As well.
He was a standout in a pretty ordinary year.
Yes, he was. So he joined when he joined the side, he was happy to see Ivan Cleary come and coach the side because he originally got him over from New Zealand to play at the Panthers, I believe.
Yep.
He lasted until 2020. He was released to play Super League. These days, plying his trade, doing a bit of work on TikTok. You see him kind of pop up in the feed from time to time.
Is he the one who did the video about Madge?
I think so.
Yeah,
about being a
sitting
bit
in his
intense.
car and saying that he's super intense.
That was him. Yep.
Yeah, right.
So that's him, Elijah Taylor, though. Yeah, cut loose by the Panthers and had a pretty good knock in an ordinary era for the club, but one game as a skipper.
My mate Petey, friend of the show, big time listener, he's a Panthers fan. I remember him being gutted that Elijah Taylor left the Panthers and came to the Tigers.
Yeah,
because he was such a clubman and absolutely tried his guts out on the field every week.
Well, I think it was Hook Griffin was maybe the coach at the time, and he actually moved him out of the side to bring in James Fisher-Harris. So
pretty good move.
You know, what do you do? Good player though, and
great player.
A worthy inclusion at number 3 in my top 05 captains who captained less than 10 games.
Certainly, and I don't know if we can hook number 3 will shock you because he's a worthy recipient of being in this top 05.
Number 2 might shock you. Number 4 might shock you though.
Oh, go on.
Skippered the club on 5 occasions in 2018. This was the year we famously picked 5 captains.
Yeah.
Do you want to...
Russell Packer?
It's Russell Packer. He had 5 games where he officially had the big C.
Wow.
Can you remember the other 4 captains named in the...
Tamo?
No, not this year.
No, that was pre-Tamo, was it?
Yeah.
Madalino?
No.
I'm going good here, aren't I?
Yeah.
Josh Reynolds?
No.
Moses Mbye?
Yes, Josh Reynolds, yes.
Moses Mbye?
No. Chris Lawrence, Benji, and I think it was Elijah as well. Might have been there.
Yeah.
So there you go.
5 captains is so hectic.
So strange. That was when Ivan was our coach as well. He said he learned a lot when he was at the West Tigers. I think this is one of the things he probably left there.
Do you know what? Whenever we reflect on Ivan's time at the Tigers, it all just sounds a little bit sabotagey, doesn't it? It's almost like I'm going to tear this place apart and then leave.
Yeah.
Because some of the signings he made, putting 5 captains.
Yeah. Strange stuff.
Very strange stuff. It was almost like a test and learn period for him, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, now I'm going to go win 4 comps.
Yep. Learned plenty, like we all have.
Yes, true.
He's managed to apply a lot of those.
Student of the game.
A little bit better, though. All right, so Russell Packer. It was a controversial signing. Spent a bit of time in the clink. Did his time.
Yep.
Casual observers will remember him from when he relieved himself on the field whilst playing for the Warriors in 2013.
Yeah, I remember that.
The incident was dubbed completely unacceptable and disgusting by the NRL and resulted in a $15,000 fine. After the game, he tweeted, "Good win. When you got to go, lol." And now, he actually aimed up when we had him at the start of 2018. Credit to him.
Yeah.
We actually beat the Storm twice in the first 5 weeks of the
that.
season. I remember going to one of those games when I was living in Melbourne at Amy Park. We finished 9th that year and missed the finals. So
Classic.
it was a very West Tigers year. 5 captains finished 9th. Signed a bloke who
Has this year
pissed on
got
the
a bit
field.
of 9th about it? Can you smell a bit of 9th?
I could feel a bit of 2018 in the air,
Yeah.
minus the piss on the field and 5 captains in the team.
Yeah, minus the the 5 captains.
5 home grounds these days. We're not completely, haven't gone
Yeah,
completely mad.
we need something with 5 in it. 05. 05 captains, 05 home grounds.
Yep.
Yeah, it needs to be in there.
So that's Russell Packer coming
That
in
has
number
shocked
4.
me. Has
Shocked you?
Yep.
There you go. Coming in at 05.
Here we go.
Skippered the boys on 5 occasions in 2014. Broke our heart playing for another side in a 2010 semi-final where he kicked a field goal from the sideline playing in the back row.
Fox Sports' own
Media darling.
Braith Anasta.
Braith and Astor.
Captain of the Tigers, did he?
Probably didn't see the best of Braith at our club. 2013-14.
Well, he bagged the shite out of us when he was...
Well, did he bag or did he just drop some truth bombs that made us all feel a bit uncomfortable about the fact that the club didn't have enough Gatorade or strapping tape to go around compared to, which you'd probably take for granted, because he played at some big, prestigious clubs, the Roosters and the Dogs.
He did.
So...
what are you saying, we're not big and prestigious?
Well, look, I'm not going to say that, but I will say that, those clubs didn't make players bring their own strapping tape and Gatorade. So that's all I'll say. I don't think I'm saying.
Yeah.
Those days are obviously behind us now. We've got a beautiful new facility that's been at the Centre of Excellence, which I've had a tour of, which was great. Anyway, he was signed in 2013 when Sheens was in charge. Sheens got moved on early in 2013. Mick Potter took over. Sheens got him in as a 7.
So Sheens started 2013, did he?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
2012 was a rough year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So we started the season favourites.
Sheens got him in as a 7.
Yeah.
Because Louis...
I think Louis had gone, and I think it was to help bring Brooks and stuff through, and Mitch Moses and whatever. Anyway, Mick Potter had other ideas, played him in the back row.
That's right.
So that was a bit interesting. Did represent Greece during his time at the club. One appearance, one meat pie, or one meat gyros for the Greek side. And his post-footy career, of course, is one to behold. Host of NRL 360, just signed a nice extension as well.
I saw that. DAZN locked him and...
Matty Johns down.
Down. 2 big names.
2 marquee signings.
You could get him on the show, couldn't you?
Braith?
Yeah.
On this show or on Matty's show?
This show.
I mean, I could try.
May as well.
He's a good bloke, actually. He kind of hangs around after his show, and we'll kind of just like hang out the back and has
loves his golf as well, doesn't he?
Yes, good golfer.
Loves his golf. He loves his coffee around Darlinghurst as well. Seen him a few times around.
Yes. Anyway, he's a great fella. Had to have him in. Obviously, he skipped the 5 games. The threshold was 10. He definitely would have identified as a Dogs player first.
Yep.
And probably a Roosters player second, or vice
because
versa.
there's a classic photo of him. He missed a field goal for the Roosters, and he's doing this.
Yep.
Like his arms are above his head, and there's a big Bulldogs logo tattooed on his arm.
Yep.
Whilst he's in a Roosters jersey.
Yes. And then he'd probably identify as a Tiger, a distant third, if he mentioned it at all, to be honest. So,
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't even mention it.
So anyway, that's my top 05
really good.
captains of the club.
I did not expect Braith. I did not remember.
There's a couple there. That kind of forgot they played.
Any on men's? Honourable mentions.
Honourable mentions
I was just
for those playing at home.
I was trying to save time.
Yeah, very millennial of you. Don't have a lot of time, so I don't have time to say the full word. Let me just have a quick look. Honourable mentions that skippered less than 10.
Tamo would have been above 10. And he's not like a shock factor, is he?
Yeah. Jared McCracken, 6 games. Craig Field, 2. John Simon, 2. Ben Galea, 7 games. Is an honourable mention for me.
Unlucky.
Can't fit them all in. It's a hot field, obviously. Johnny Bateman, 3, but didn't leave on great terms, so I wasn't going to give him a run. Dane Hallertau, 8. So some good ones there. Hot field.
Some good ones.
So well done to those of you that made the cut.
And well done to you, Hammy, for pulling that list together. That's a very difficult list to compile, considering there's so many good candidates.
Not easy to fit them all in.
Well done. Great top 05.
Thank you.
Top captains that played a maximum of 10 games. Very good. Now, I'm not the only one, but I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this segment because we've had a few DMs, we've had a few emails of people saying, can't wait for Raw Emotion this week.
We have some emails on it.
We got one email.
Oh, did you?
And it was about the merch.
Oh, right.
And the guy just said, I can't wait for Raw Emotion.
Oh, sweet. All right, well, we'll count that. Raw Emotion, if you're new to the show, spelled ROAR because it's the noise a tiger makes.
Now, because he spelled it that way in the email as well, and I was going to correct him.
No, don't correct him. He's on.
But that's not how you spell it.
Nah, well, this is how we do it here, just to, infuse a bit of tiger with what we're going for as well.
Right.
The raw emotion that kind of pours out post-game, sometimes pre-game.
Yep.
If you want to get involved, follow us on Instagram, send us a voice note straight after the game. If you can't send us one, just complain, go, won't let me do it, and we'll accept you, and then you can do it. But we love hearing from you, and we've got some great responses today. We'll get through as many as we can. I know we're a little bit short on time, but I'm going to give the new ball to someone we haven't heard from in a couple of weeks, Lockie Zamuda.
Oh, yeah, he's good.
I think he gave us the wet to the knickers quote
he
a couple of
gave
weeks
us
ago.
the thumbnail.
So let's hear from him.
One of my favourite wins of all time, and a moment in rugby league history as the final threesome is completed. A rugby league final threesome. And last week, it was stated, Rome wasn't built in a day. But I believe if you go back in the history books, the foundations were set at Allianz Stadium. Because that was one of the gutsiest wins we've had in a long, long, long time.
Yep.
Could not be happier. Could not be happier with them. Latu final, I said it a couple of weeks ago. It was more than wet to the knickers this time. It was further than wet to the knickers. It was wet to the socks, wet to the mittens, if you will.
Wet
it
to
was
the
just
socks.
Unbelievable. So happy. The foundations are built at Allianz. We build on this. Come on, the boys. Come on, the Tigers. Much love to the boys. Come on.
Wet to the socks.
Wet to the socks. Latu Fanu had me wet to the knickers and the socks.
Yep.
Now, had he had a Red Bull or something? Or?
No, I accidentally played him on 1.5 speed there is what happened. So apologies, Lockie, for
Speedy's a
racing
rooter.
through you there. I'm just going to correct that for the rest of our voice notes. But you're wet to the socks, which I didn't mind.
Well, I tried to save time with On Men. If you are saving time by playing people at 1.5 times, then we're both kicking goals, I'd say, Hammy.
That's right. But the Whānau threesome.
Yeah, Whānau threesome.
We'll tell the kids about that one day, won't we? The day we sat there through the Whānau threesome.
I think you propped it last week. You were saying, where were you when? That's the question we'll ask. The Moore Park Miracle, I've been calling it.
Yep.
We were calling it the Miracle on Grass last week.
Yeah.
And we said, if we win, that's what we're going to call the podcast name. So if we're true to our word, that'll be the title. But
yes, I like it.
Remains to be seen. Unless someone comes up with something really good in the next 6 to 10 raw emotions.
Yep.
Let's see.
What was the one that I had as a... Cook the Chooks was one that kind of came in.
Yeah, Cook the Chooks.
But anyway, all right, I'm going to get to Jordan R.R. Stubbs now. He's produced some good gear for us in the past as well. He flicked one through at 4:01 p.m. yesterday. Didn't waste any time post-game.
No, that's quick. Let's go, Stubbsy.
Stubbo here.
Stubbo, sorry.
What a fucking win, boys, at the Academy of Allianz.
Oh, yeah.
3 Whānau brothers out there. Got me rigid, eh? Enough to put a horn on a jellyfish. All dug in, dug deep. Bags happy on the sideline. Fucking cheering his head off, the Silver Fox. Adam Dewey. He deserves a snack pack after this game, I tell you that. The multi fell through, boys. Teddy fucked it for me in the end. And, I needed the boys to win by 2.5 for $1,000. But, I'll take the win for the boys over that. I'm a little bit upset considering that he said no kick and the ref decided to twist his arm into taking a kick.
Oh, no way. Collusion.
Clown. Anyway, boys, it's a good win. Back to the drawing board and head to New Zealand to take on those Warriors tomorrow. Go the fucking Tigers.
Back to the win, learn, or drawing board.
Yeah, exactly. That's a bad beat. Feel for you, Stubbsy, but horn on a jellyfish is excellent gear. Enough to put a horn on a jellyfish. That might be making its way onto a thumbnail, I would have thought. At some point in the next 6 to 8 hours.
Explain that? What does that mean?
Enough to put a horn. Well, a jellyfish is quite a flaccid kind of, beast, isn't it? So to put a horn on a jellyfish, you got to be pretty up and about.
Theatre of the mind kind of stuff.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Oh, I like it too.
It was enough to put a horn on a jellyfish.
Let's
I like
that.
that. So that was from Stubbsy. Always good to hear from him. Now we're going to get to friend of the show, back Fence Browne. We're hopeful we're going to get a top 16 tattoo on that man at some point for content's sake, and then welcome him to immortality, which he's been very close to. But he was obviously at the game yesterday. I was gutted I didn't get catch up with him in the flesh, but he had a couple of thoughts for us on the game yesterday.
Halftime report from the 12th wonder of the world, Allianz Stadium.
It's the 12th.
First things first, where's the atmosphere? Like at Oval, about half, maybe a quarter of the numbers. And still, the guests are going, but let's do this. Didn't realise we had a magician, Stafford Toa emulating GI, and the great David Blaine. How did that ball come out?
True.
I can tell you what.
Matt Gidley.
Lockie Galvin, who?
Yep.
Everything's going to be fine. 2 on the board. Fuck, we'd love to see that. Thank God, Big Red's looking hot. Get on the Say-Barge. Second half, try time. Let's bloody go. West Tigers 2-0-4-0.
That was his halftime report.
Nice.
Pretty excited then.
Yeah.
He had some post-match thoughts as well.
Hello, boys. We're just walking out of Allianz, down past the SCG. Wow. Elliot.
Upset Tigers.
Hammy, Morty. Hammy, it was really lovely to see you at the... Oh, wait, no, I didn't see you at the game. Elliot, it must have been...
Morty, right?
No, we didn't see Morty.
Oh.
Wait, who did... Oh, that's right. We saw the third and secret member of the Win, Learn or Draw podcast, Matty the Water Boy, who I must say is the actual workhorse, the engine room of that podcast.
Random South guy, but
He's a random South guy.
the strongest Tigers fan there was there.
He was the only Tigers fan I saw there, because I didn't see Hammy and I didn't see Elliot. So
Dribble away.
where were
Mentioned
you
that a few
boys?
times now.
Apparently Hammy was up in a box
I
maybe,
wish.
or something like that.
Galvin's not the only dogs. That's all I know.
Galvin. How good, mate. Tell you what, we had Tristan Hope, and the Tigers are going to be absolutely fine.
Yep.
Didn't have Tristan Hope.
No, we didn't. We got to the game. We went to the game just to have fun. Yeah, boys, that was something else. West Tigers till I die. 2-0, 4-0. Let's bloody go! On the Sabres! Get on the Sabres! Chugga!
Mate, imagine all the Swans fans leaving the SCG going, who is this?
What is going on and who is he talking to? Goodness. Now, you guys actually did catch up with him later.
Yes. Both Matty
Who wants to go first?
Both Matty and I saw him at the well, I saw him after Matty had seen him, but I saw him at the up the top of Wing House.
Craig Wing House.
The lounge.
We're going to have to beep out that lounge.
The lounge up the top of Wing's house.
Yeah.
He
Craig
was
Wing
there
House.
with his brother, and they were back Fence Browning the entire time. They were saying they're going to Bali this week.
Must be nice.
Must be nice, yep. Bit of little family vacation. I was saying that I reckon, it's funny you were saying that about Matty being in the engine room for our podcast. I was saying they're younger brothers in the engine room. I reckon he's the one that comes up with all the good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Arlo.
Oh, yeah.
So that didn't go down very well. But it was, again, another conversation about immortality. I'd knocked back a few Cooper's Greens in glass as well. We weren't in a box, but we were in the members section back then. So we were there, as we mentioned earlier in the show. We had a good chat. We did. He wants immortality bad.
Yes.
I don't know if you've picked that up.
No, I'm catching what he's kicking. He's making a lot of the right noises, I will say.
Yeah, and I kind of said, look, mate, you're on the right track. We've got one more immortality to give out this season, and you're front running.
Yep.
But can you please get a tattoo, get Wacanoodles on board?
Yep. We don't ask for much.
Get us access to the Say Barge.
Yep.
And then...
He said he's going to do us a favour by going to Bali. Isn't that what he told me in the orange room?
Well, in the orange room, I was saying, he because he wants us to pay for the tattoo, as we covered last week, he thinks that he'll cut it down by about 75% if he gets it done in Bali.
Yeah. But he did also say we come and film it and do
Get
content.
some content out of it. Which one is it, back fence?
Yeah. So, anyway, what to think about?
But he did say he'd get it on his arm.
On his arm?
And he showed me how big it would be. And I said, nah, not that big. He said, yeah, you only want it smaller because you're paying for it. That's kind of true.
Yeah.
Also.
Well, we've got to come up with that design for him. Say Barge has got to be on it somewhere. Chugga, and a top 16 somewhere on it.
It's going to be a big tattoo if you got all that on it.
Yeah. But just incorporate all that somehow.
Matty, do you have any?
Yeah, well, I met him at the ground, and I think we had about a 20-minute chat. Everything that you just covered was pretty much covered as well, from immortality to tattoos, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I spoke to him more than pretty much anyone yesterday, which was good. And it wasn't all in one go. I think I spoke to him twice at the game. And then at the lounge up at the Wing House, he told me that we'd actually gotten a photo together in 2022 on a train to a Kendrick Lamar concert and then whacked out the photo. And I was like, wow, I actually remember that. So yeah, a bit of a full circle moment for me and back fence. So yeah, it was nice to catch up with him.
Trip down memory lane. Old mates having a laugh. That's all it was yesterday.
Yeah, that's nice to bring that. Do you remember the Kendrick concert? Was it a good concert?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, it was just before the whole Kendrick Drake thing kicked off. So I remember I was pretty happy with myself, kind of getting in before.
Yeah, true.
Early adopter. Early back friends.
You and back fence cut from the same cloth, Matty, because that's pretty coincidental that you were both at the Kendrick concert.
On the same train carriage.
On the same train carriage as well.
And two people have been discussed at length in terms of being inducted as an immortal. So good to see you guys getting along.
Yeah.
Let's hear from another friend of the show. I haven't heard from him in a couple of weeks. He's sent a few in, but we haven't heard from him in a little while.
Okay.
Troy Maguire was at the game yesterday.
Was he?
Of Taruva chant fame, which we haven't heard a lot of in recent times. But
one of the songwriters of our generation, Troy Maguire.
Hold the phone. He might have another one for us here.
Oh, please.
I know you're here, boys, at Allianz after the game here. The boys are coming over to the fence. I know you lads are here, and this is just for you. They're Fainus, they're a rugby league family. Lot two, and some well loved. Sione makes it 1, 2, 3. When you watch the news, you'll have a yabba-dabba-doo time, a dabba-doo time. You'll have a West Tigers time. Mark 2. Tiger.
Oh,
That was his Concord Idol submission.
Latu as Wilma.
Latu
Will never not be funny.
You're a talent, Troy. Sound like you're a little bit happier than when you were out for dinner with your wife and her friends a couple of weeks ago.
That's right.
I mean, after a famous West Tigers win, Miracle on Grass at Allianz Academy, I can't see why you wouldn't be.
Yep.
Love that chant. You'll have a West Tigers time, though. I reckon you can clean that up a little bit at the end there and we're onto something.
Yeah.
I like this. He only makes it 1, 2, 3, though. That's good rhyming.
Nice touch.
That's good rhyming.
He's done well. It's work in progress. We've had it a couple of times. Every time we hear it, there's a little tweak or something that's
that
improved.
felt like a nice flow.
Yeah.
It did.
Yep. Well done. And what a game to unfurl that chant, because
He's right. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. This one's from Haz. Here's some of his thoughts post game.
Let's go, Hazza.
What an absolute hope-inspiring performance from the boys. I could not give any one of them enough of a rap. We are back. We are going to go undefeated for the rest of the season. We're going to play finals footy with home games, boys.
He knows
Get
it.
ready. Jump on the train. If you didn't believe last week or the week before, then you better fucking believe now.
Yep.
It's well said.
It is well said.
That is essentially what we've spoken about over the last hour in a nutshell.
Yep.
Jump on board. Get on the say barge. Chugga, chugga, chugga. We are strolling our way towards the top 8. And it's going to be a hell of a celebration when we do.
Yeah, it will be. The top 16.
Back Fence will be getting 2 tattoos.
He'll be straight back in that chair.
Straight back. Straight back to Bali, mate.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Have got a lot here. I'm unfortunately going to have to cull a few, but we're going to get to Tom Pooley, and then we're going to get to the Immortal. Shout out to Jaden Taylor, Teddy Brooks, Bill A, Dave Grant. There's a lot of good ones here, but we'll make sure we get you in the next couple of weeks. All right, Tom Pooley, over to you.
Hey fellas, just en route to the Oxford Intramoyne after some KFC to cure my winfluenza. And I've got to say, not many things get me out of bed in the morning, but the fact that Nick Politis killed off the car industry by importing luxury vehicles really gets my disdain for the Roosters through the ceiling, despite all the pretentious behaviour that goes on in the eastern suburbs and chucking players aside when they don't want them. And what a win it was. I've always believed in miracles, fellas. And to win today, away from home, without Jerome Luai and Api Coruscant, a win for the ages, fellas. Let that savour it up and imagine the calmness in my voice as I embrace serenity now, in the words of the late great Frank Costanza.
That's good gear from Tom Pooley. Knee deep in Colonel. Indicator working overtime in the background there.
Now, I'm no doctor, but I didn't know the KFC was the cure for winfluenza. But now that I know that, might have to get some on the way home.
Might have to. Be rude not to.
Yeah, be really rude not to.
A little bit of a drive-by for Nick Politis there as well. Brave man.
Excuse the pun.
Yeah, pun very much intended.
Yeah, wow. Is that a thing? Nick Politis ruined drove Holden out of the country?
Not for me to say, but, Tom Pooley's obviously thought about that for a while.
I'd like to hear more about this. We could do a special episode on it, maybe like a breakaway episode on how Nick Politis ruined
it. Off-season expose.
That was great. I love Tom Pooley's voice notes. Obviously not in touch with his suffer mate. You know, Denny Orchers, always calling him.
Yeah. Well, he's got his hands full. There's a bit of rugby going on at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, true.
You know?
Bockies.
Lions
Bockies,
and
mate.
so forth.
Yep.
All right. Let's hear from the Immortal. Outstanding stuff. His little voice note from last week on Raw Emotion, doing great numbers across the socials. We always love hearing from him. Every time we play him, it's just a nice reminder of why he was the first one inducted as an Immortal.
I agree.
Good stuff.
Wholeheartedly.
And this week, without giving too much away, he's kept some receipts. You said at the start we were the only show to put our nuts on the line and back the Tigers last week.
Yep.
He's gone back through the archives, done a bit of digging, which lends itself beautifully to being clipped up again for the clip this week.
Oh, yeah.
Over to you, Reece Smith, the first Immortal.
Boys, it's Reece Fainu here, a.k.a. the fourth Fainu brother, a.k.a. the Immortal, a.k.a. the man with all the brain, football brain, knowledge brain, in his head brain. Just want to name this one Accountability Sessions. So first one off the rank here, we have Jeremy Latu Huamoho from the Journeyman Pohuid cast. Let's see what Jeremy had to say before the game.
Roosters have won 18 of their past 19 against the Tigers, and I actually don't think the Tigers would, if the reserve grade put together their best team, the residence team, I reckon they beat the Tigers at the moment. They're battling. So Roosters by the length of the show.
Oh, Jeremy. Sounds like you don't have an intelligent brain, Jeremy. Next off the rank here, we have the OG himself, the triple OG, Willie Mason.
Roosters all day. All day. Like a flogging.
Like a flogging, he said! The immortal has the brain. It was always the Tigers. We are coming for the comp.
Oh my God, he's called out Jeremy Lattimore and Willie Mason.
Lattimore.
From the podcast.
Yeah. And the triple OG. Well, he's got a point, hasn't he?
Mate, do you know what?
Talk shit, get hit.
He always talks about the football brain that he has.
Yeah.
And he's called it. And I didn't know he was a Fainu. That's amazing.
Let alone the fourth brother.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a plot twist.
Yeah, that's a massive plot twist. Might give us an insight into how he knows so much about footy, though.
Yes,
because those
of course.
boys know a lot about footy.
Yep.
Great. I mean, taking receipts is almost a new level for the Immortal.
You know, end of financial year. I mean, what better time of year
It's a very
keep
good
your
point.
receipts?
Put them through Concur.
Yeah.
Expense them.
That's right.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yep.
Mate, Reece Fainu, fantastic stuff again.
Really good stuff.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yep. Hoping to get down for he reckons a couple of the Leichhardt games he's going to be floating around. So that might be the time we get to.
Mate, that's going to be a big
room.
one. We almost need to have a little be here at this point. We'll see ya.
Could be a good day to be could be a bad day to be a brunch at the Three Spoons Cafe in Concord.
It could be a terrible day to be a brunch at the Three Spoons Cafe.
That cafe actually exists, by the way, people. We didn't just make that up. I don't know if we've spoken about it on the show before.
No, we haven't really. We speak about it a lot in the Orange Room. Actually, pre-season, we laughed at it lots.
Yeah.
But there is genuinely a cafe in Concord called the Three Spoons Cafe that's been around for a long time.
Yeah, please sponsor us.
Yeah, well, we'll be coming for you for brunch.
Yeah.
A couple of bacon and eggs before a famous Leichhardt.
No such thing as a free brunch, as they say.
Do they?
Well, they do now.
They do now.
Give us money.
Speaking of money and free brunches.
Brunches, lunches, interviews by the pool.
Considered a fool because I dropped out of high school.
Concord.
Oh, learning in that song too.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to an ad break. Okay. Good ad break. What do you reckon people that watch on YouTube Premium or even YouTube?
Well, back Fence Browne gave us an insight. I think they just sit there and cop the awkward beat of silence and get on with things. Or
Jeez, it sounds good.
great opportunity for them to pause as well, go to the toilet.
Yep. Pause the show.
Pause the show.
Don't miss a minute.
Yeah.
Especially now because we are going to whip out the win, learn or draw crystal ball again and
Whip
have
it
a
out.
look at- We're going to whip it out. Yeah, we are going to whip it out. Next week we got the Wars at Go Media Stadium.
Yep.
You need to make sure that we're not calling it Mount Smart. Go Media Stadium. These people have paid money. The marketing team at Go Media have lashed out with a bit of money.
If they got a bit more money in their marketing budget, feel free to hit us up.
Well, this is kind of the pitch I'm going
DMs
for
are
now.
open.
We love Go Media, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime I need media,
Where do you go?
go. I go to Go Media.
Marina Go, former chairwoman of the Tigers, might own it.
May do.
May do.
Could ask Lockie.
We could ask Lockie. Go Media Stadium, Auckland. Now, you're not going to like these stats, but stats. Well, you heard Jeremy Lattimore without his football.
They can make
brain.
you look pretty silly stats sometimes. Can't
18
they?
and 19, Roosters by the length of the straight. Yeah, right, lads. Come on. Wires have won the last 8 games against us.
Geez, 8 in a row. Origin sort of
8 in a row.
Areas.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
yippee sort of stuff.
8 lessons in a row for us against the Wires. Very controversial one last time out at Campbelltown College.
Yep.
The last time we won in New Zealand was 2016, 36-24.
Jeez. Over 2 Olympiads ago. 3 Olympiads.
Yeah, because Paris, Tokyo,
Obviously a bit
Rio
of
de Janeiro.
Yeah.
I think it was early in the season too, so I think it was before Rio. So there you
Yeah.
go. Three
puts it in
modern day
perspective,
Olympics.
doesn't it?
It does, mate. But I don't know. They got Metcalf out. They got Chance out.
Barnett out.
There are a few chalk. No, what's the saying? A few crayons.
Sandwiches short of a picnic.
Few sandwiches short of. Let's go with that one. Few sandwiches short of a
Crayons
picnic.
short of a what? I'm interested to know.
No, oh no, you know what? I'm getting not the sharpest tool in the shed, not the brightest crayon in the pack.
In the box.
In the box.
That's certainly the case at the moment. I'm trying to explain this.
It's on show. My football brain's pretty fried.
Few roos loose in the top paddock over there, mate.
Yeah, that's a good one. I actually had a lot of beers yesterday, and I've been a bit musty all day yesterday. I said to Maddie when I walked in, I was like, do you know what? The only thing that's made me feel better all day is seeing him. Because I thought he might be in a bit worse for wear than I was. But he looks fine. He always looks good. What do you think next week? How do you reckon we'll go?
Tigers win, obviously.
Oh, no, obviously.
Yeah, get over there and do the business. Look, they've lost a couple through injury, as you touched on, the Warriors in the last few weeks. I mean, I'm just riding high off the back of this win, so I'm really looking at it through orange and black glasses. And Roasty, as he pointed out, school holidays, no learning for the next 3 weeks.
True.
I'm taking a bit of confidence out of that as well.
And a field trip, overseas field trip. Get those permission slips
That's right.
signed.
Get those. Hopefully, everyone gets their permission slips signed. But we're going to have some big ins this week as well. Appy would be back in.
Yep.
Hopefully, Luai backs up as well, gets over there. So, Buller, not sure where he's at. So there's players to come back in, and they've got a couple of
Buller's
players.
a little way off, I think.
Buller's a little way
Around
off.
21, 22 or something.
Okay, all good. We can.
Taruva,
He was great.
Yeah.
So look, we've got a lot of ins this week. They may have a couple of players coming around, but the key ones that they're missing, like they're out for the year now. Obviously, they've just come off a bye. They learned 2 weeks in a row before that, so they're beatable. I'd
They're
say
susceptible.
Yeah, big opportunity for us to get our first win over there in 3 Olympiads is what I would be saying.
I totally agree. The bookies have us rank outsiders again, but right where we like it, $3.18 to $1.36.
Yeah.
Team list hasn't come out yet, but we will get Appy back. Jerome will back up.
Yep.
I mean, unless he gets another Susan, but
Yeah,
highly
touch
doubting
wood,
that.
touch Aaron Woods.
Touch Aaron Woodsy. How was Jerome when you chatted to him in Blues camp?
Good. I was kind of asking some questions to kind of, get under his skin a little bit, much like the Susan. But he's always a good sport. He's a good bloke.
He's a funny guy, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like him. I like the cut of his jib. There was, he always kind of gets amongst it. But,
Yeah, he does.
Great guy to have at our club. And, if the Blues, manage a miracle and win on Wednesday night, hopefully he can take some of that confidence out of that. I'm sure just him being back in that squad at that level is going to be really helpful for the rest of the season for him, back at the Tigers.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, he stepped up massively in that Raiders game on that Friday night,
Yes.
straight after the Blues game. So
Yep.
he'll just bring much more leadership back to the team right when we need it. Not that, some of those guys stepped up massively on Sunday and got us the win, but him and Appy back in helps massively. I'm predicting the win, learn or draw crystal ball. Now, we haven't put our predictions down here.
Mm-hmm.
We did say last week Roosters would learn.
Yep.
Tigers would win. We probably can't back up with the same prediction.
Well, the Warriors will learn. I didn't go with it last week. Did I? I didn't put a
You said May would score against his old team.
That didn't quite happen. I'm just going to go Finu to have another blinder. Latu.
Yep.
To steal the shot at number 7. Maybe get another try. But definitely have a big game.
I am going to go to Ruva for a double.
Wow.
I think he is going to pop up the right place, right time. One extra game in fullback. He'll be running off Latu and running inside and pop up right place, right time and score a couple of tries.
Yep. Well, I'm just having a look here. Last time the Warriors played, they conceded 2 tries to Gemmet Shibasaki, a centre.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe Stafford Toa gets over.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a pretty good bet.
Yeah.
Is he playing? I think he's injured.
Is he injured?
Yeah.
Team list Tuesday. We'll find out more in 24
Poor
hours.
old
time.
Luke Lallee had to Mark.
Yeah.
And that
Mark.
was a tough assignment, wasn't it?
It
That
was.
a tough assignment. So
Yeah.
hopefully a bit easier this week. That'll do us for this week, Hammy.
Adam Dewis.
Yeah, Adam Dewis. Great to see Matty in the wild on the weekend on Sunday, back Fence Browne. Just good seeing the Tigers win.
Yeah.
Like, we are back.
Yep. We're back, baby. We're back Fence.
Orange, white and black. We are back.
We are.
And do you know what happens when we're back? We are heading to the top 16. So top 16,
Here we come.
here we come. Bye-bye.